Because like I said, I wasn't right next to everybody. I kind of walked off in the shade, into the trees. One of our guys, Colin, thankfully to him, he just walked over to near where I was at, and he saw I was having a seizure and yelled at the guys, Tyler's having a seizure. And I don't think anyone believed him at first. And he's like, no, fucking seriously, get the med bag. He's having a seizure. I think I was walking around the hospital within 4 to 6 hours after the surgery, and then was discharged from the hospital in 48 hours. Then I had to stay there because the pathology results were going to take,
I think, a week. They said it was going to be a hot minute.
2 weeks.
Week,
it
2 weeks.
Might have been 2 weeks. It felt like a long time.
It did.
Because you just don't know what it is.
Right. Or even how much they got out, right? Because even after your surgery, there's swelling. You had to wait for a while to go back in for another scan.
Yeah.
Not only to see what is it, but did they get it all out?
When you're fighting wildland fire, you can't afford jitters, crashes, or brain fog. Fire from Miles Supplements is built to the demand wildland firefighters face. With natural caffeine, brain-boosting nootropics, and essential vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes, Fire gives you sustained energy and razor-sharp focus through brutal 16-hour shifts without any negative side effects. Whether you're hiking miles with a pack, having a line in the heat, or staying alert during night ops, Fire keeps you energized and mentally dialed in. Just mix 1 scoop in water about 30 minutes before your shift starts. If you're serious about performing at your best when lives and land are on the line, fuel up with Fire. Check out Miles Supplements at the link below and experience clean, powerful performance built for the fire line.
Welcome back to the Spiked Out podcast in our new temporary venue here at the Rushmore Building in downtown Rapid City. Thank you to those that let us use it.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
Yeah, feels good. Feels good to get back recording.
Yeah, we recorded initially like 13 episodes and released them weekly. We ran out of episodes.
We did.
We're here to replenish our stock.
Yeah, and ironically, we've halfway filmed this one before, but didn't work out. So we're going to revisit it. Today we're going to talk about kind of your incident this summer while on wildland fire and what it's progressed up to, kind of an update for everyone.
Yeah.
Not everyone may know, so we'll brush over the initial details and lead up to where we're at today. So just to kind of set the scene, you and I this summer, we traveled around. We like to visit our resources, visit our people, and occasionally we have to fill in for R&Rs and stuff like that to keep our crews out. And we had gone to Oregon. One of our REMS teams was there, and you decided that you were going to go out for the R&R. I think we sat down the night before and we're like, who wants to go? And
yeah, one person needed 2 days off, so only one of us could do it. And it was back and forth in my head. Should Brennan do it? Should I do it? Should Brennan do it? Should I do it? For whatever reason, I said, Brennan, I'll do it.
Yeah. You were kind of missing fires a little bit. Like we hadn't been on one.
I wanted to get out there, but I also know you were missing fires. So I was like, fuck, I kind of want to like let you get a hack at it. But later in the story, it's funny how that all played out, that decision.
It definitely is, amongst just the whole summer moving around. But and then we had 2 guys showing up, so I was kind of at this campground training. But first day kind of went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
You went out there was no problems. And then the infamous day 2 came around for RNU.
I couldn't even get through 2 days of wildland fire before. Used to do it all the time. Now I'm running a business. I've gone soft. But so on day 2, we were at a drop point with the REMS team, and we we did a workout with everybody, and then they asked us to move down the hill to this other drop point where there was porta shitters, and it was a little upgrade kind of. There's a little pond there.
Yeah, like the well-structured DPs.
Yeah, there's an ambulance there, some overhead there. This was a not very active fire. A lot of repair work was being done. So
immigrant fire, for any listeners that were there, might have heard it on the radio.
By the famous Diamond Lake. Everyone knows that area on fire. You've probably been. If you haven't, you'll probably go. But it was in the afternoon, and we had been playing cards and hanging with the boys, and I just wanted some time to myself to listen to a podcast or whatever. And so I walked off into the trees and laid under a tree and just began feeling extra anxious.
Like outside of normal.
Outside of normal, like whatever the usual things you think about with a business. Cause
would you say it was like a impending, you hear that in medical school sometimes, like
impending doom?
Impending doom or fear of whatever. Was it kind of like that?
It was just whatever. When we run the business, you're always stressed about something that just happened, is happening, or is about to happen almost all the time. But it was the usual things, but just more intense. Like I even texted my girlfriend and was like, God, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I just feel like extra anxious right now. Next, I wake up in a helicopter.
I was going to say, you kind of lose out there on a few.
I exit the chat.
You do.
One of our guys, Colin, thankfully to him, he happened to, because like I said, I wasn't right next to everybody. I kind of walked off in the shade, in the trees. And there's like no reason for anybody to be over where I was.
Right.
Except this gentleman, Colin, paces about a lot. And so he just walked over to near it where I was at, and he saw I was having a seizure and yelled at the guys, Tyler's having a seizure. And I don't think anyone believed him at first. And he's like, no, fucking seriously, get the med bag. He's having a seizure. And I was. And so the guys did their thing. Like I said, whole REMS team there, plus an ambulance there.
Two medics with the REMS team that were, with you.
So
best case scenario for you to have that episode. But yeah, it sounded like you had 2 seizures. They didn't obviously quite know what was going on because you never had a medical history of having seizures or anything like this. And so they were a little confused at first, but, got you loaded up, packed out, and in a helicopter.
Yeah, they decided to fly me. It would have been over 2 hours by ground, so not the worst decision to fly. But it's weird to think about if Colin, because when Colin got up to me, I was pretty blue, I guess, because I was laying in the supine position, and I think my airway was slightly obstructed, so
not getting full oxygen.
Yeah. Wonder if I could have just expired there.
Could have.
So shout out to Colin.
Yeah, and that ties back to what we were talking about with who was going. Had you not been the one to go do the R&Rs and I was out there, you would have been at the campground by yourself.
Yeah.
The 2 guys that were coming in to replace hadn't showed up yet. They were still like no, because I didn't find out till later. They probably hadn't have shown up by the time you would have had your incident. Because I was only with them maybe 30 minutes before I got the call from Brennan Hill.
Yeah. Probably just been in my camper.
Yeah.
Season.
Yeah.
Pissing myself.
A couple times. Normal. Newsflash, if you have a seizure, you're probably going to defecate or piss on yourself. It's just part of it. But yeah, thank God you were the one that thank God you were the one that went out.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse, or just throughout the whole summer. One thing I think about is, you were driving your camper around and I was driving my 4Runner. man, if that had happened at any other time, 70 miles an hour, no pun intended to the sign behind me on the interstate.
Yeah, what if I had been behind the wheel and you just saw me fucking, what the hell? Like, so yeah, in all things considered, pretty lucky how it turned out that way. So yeah, wake up. I don't remember much.
You kind of came to in the you kind of have a memory of being in the helicopter with the flight medic.
Yeah, so I was flown. They got a Forest Service chopper there, loaded me on that. Flew over to another fire where there was a proper LZ, I guess. Met a local life flight helicopter.
Okay.
Ironically, someone else who works for us, Janice, was at that fire and on an ambulance, and they were having a slow day and just heard there was a medical coming in and just went to go help out. And so she saw me and recognized me right away.
Yeah.
And I just had dinner with her and her husband the other night, and when she was telling me some of her perspective, I started to remember a little bit more. She's like, yeah, we were asking you if you knew where you were and birthday and all that. And so I remember a little bit of being on the stretcher, going to the next helicopter. I remember being under the blades and feeling rotor wash and stuff.
Yeah.
Then definitely remember sitting up in the helicopter and looking around and seeing the Oregon forest floor below me. And I remember we must have been landing at the hospital, and like in the movies when the doctors or whatever waiting at the door, he was waiting outside the door, like landed on the rooftop of the hospital.
Yeah.
I remember that, and then it was all just
in and out from there. Yeah. You got drugged up as soon as you got there and a bunch of scans and whatnot, but not too bad. I was at the campground. I found out through Brennan Hill, who's a friend of ours and also on that fire. And so he let me know, and I immediately got a hold of the Med-El that was there at that spike camp by Diamond Lake and chatted with him. They told me that, they were pulling our REMS team off the line, obviously being down a person, and just kind of to do a debrief and make sure that they were good. So drove over to the spike camp, hung out there until the REMS team got there. They filled me in as much as I could because obviously I was trying to relay as much as that information to pertinent people. But then as soon as I could, I drove, I think it was only like an hour and a half or a couple hours back into Eugene and met you at the hospital. You had just gotten done with your MRI.
What were you thinking? Like, what's going on? Is this real?
Well, so at first I definitely thought it wasn't real, right? Because I heard it from Brendan Hill, and I was like, okay, is this some sort of joke that they're trying to play? But he was pretty stern, and so I was like, all right, it's legitimate. Not a lot of panic. Those two other guys were there. I just told them like, hey, sorry, we can't do the training. We got to go do this. We'll get you spooled up later. Obviously, once I got to talk to the REMS team, it was a little more official, and we hadn't had any answers then, and everyone wants answers at that point. They're like, what's happening? Where is he going? Why is it? Yeah. You just don't have them.
Funny ad about Brennan Hill. One of our best friends, he was at the same fire, just on a different division, and he heard that there was a medical, and he was gonna go, but then the call over the radio was that it was a male in his 40s having a seizure, and I'm 32, and so he's like, "Oh, it's not Tyler." He's like, "Dude, if I would have known it was you, I would have gone." But they said it was a male in his 40s having a seizure.
Brutal.
So whoever made that fucking radio call, fuck you. Yeah. So yeah, then we get to the hospital, and then they come in with some scans, and
there's a lot of swelling. Obviously, when you have a seizure, there's some rattling around that goes on. and some brain swelling.
And we can add that picture up when we...
Yeah, we'll throw the picture up for people who are watching to see. But for those that aren't, it's, the doc came in and pulled up the MRI, and it was pretty visible at first. Like, it was...
Yeah, very. I was still really out of it, but I was still enough to be like, holy shit, that's big. I remember even noticing like the midline of my brain was like pushed over to the other side.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like, you have some sort of brain tumor.
Yeah, and they didn't, obviously it's just a scan. They didn't know what it was doing. Yeah. They did say that like the scan looked bigger because of the swelling, but it was still a sizable plate,
Yeah. And I remember them saying it doesn't look like the bad one, like, which is a glioblastoma, which is a grade 4 glioma, one of the worst cancers and brain tumors you can have.
Yeah.
We'll get into what mine is later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still wonder if I haven't really accepted it that much because I was still so fucking high at the hospital. I was very out of it, like when they're trying to explain this shit to me. So it was not like going to your doctor's office, hey, sit down, we need to tell
like they
you
do
something.
In the movies, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got some news for you.
You have cancer.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, in the background, my family and everyone is
booking flights,
calling
and moving.
everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but then the play ended up being, hey, you're okay. You can be discharged from the hospital.
Yeah, you were only there for like a day and a half, really.
Yeah. I remember waking up and I was like, what time is it? And you're like, it's like 2 a.m. or something. I was like, oh, go to your car. Go to bed, dude. So Brandon wouldn't leave my side. But yeah, then we discharged from the hospital. My family, we have a family friend who's an oncologist, and he recommended going to UC Health in Aurora, Colorado. So they got that all lined up.
There's a little bit of debate there. The doc in Oregon, I remember, she's like, I mean, we can do surgery, but it's not really our specialty. And then we kind of had a few hours of, well, should you go, to Arizona? Should we go to Mayo and Minnesota?
Yeah.
Your brother in Oklahoma, Kansas?
He's in Omaha. My brother's a neurologist, which is a little ironic that, so he was helping run the play too, where we were going.
It definitely helped out for communicating some of that too. To some of the other people who aren't as medically inclined, he was a great tool or had good questions and things like that. So that was nice to have him around. But yeah, didn't know where quite to go at first, but eventually got you cleared to fly and flew you to Denver.
Yeah, we got out of the hospital, the whole team, we stayed in an Airbnb and just hung out and then flew to Denver. But it was weird that basically when I woke up, everybody knew, which was kind of nice in a way that I didn't have to like call my mom or look her in the eyes and all my family and tell them like, hey, I have a brain tumor.
Yeah.
It was all handled for me. So that was kind of nice.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros and cons. It was more forced upon.
Wouldn't have been fun to have to break the news multiple times. But then in my family, I have word spreads, so everybody knew.
Well, and then even on the fire, knowing, like you said, Brennan Hill was there.
Yeah.
There was other people that helped out with the incident that knew you, and you're a pretty well-liked guy in the wildland fire community, especially in EMS, so word spread pretty fast.
So yeah, I went to Denver, checked into UC Health in Aurora, Colorado. Fantastic
facility,
establishment.
What's it called?
Anschutz Medical Center.
Love them. It's where I had my eye surgery.
Yeah, they. So they're basically like going through the ER because then they have to take you, and then went and whatever MRIs and blah blah blah. Then got a room, and then we were waiting to do brain surgery.
Because it was known pretty much right away that, hey, this thing's got to come out. Yeah. It's in a place that can come out. Like, at a minimum, they had to at least go in and get a biopsy, right? Because a scan can't look at the cellular structure to see, is it malignant? Is it benign? What kind is it? Where's it at? So since they were already going in, might as well pull it out. That was a great place for it.
The surgeon was awesome. Like right away when I met him, felt comfortable with him dabbling around inside of my skull.
Yeah, looks super professional. You posted him up and it's like, if there was anyone to touch my brain, this is the guy to do it.
He was the guy.
He was the guy.
I don't remember how many days it ended up being, but I remember they're like, well, if we can't do it till this day, and then if we can't do it this day, we can try for this day, but probably not that day. Mm-hmm. And if you can't do it that day, it's going to be like the next week. And meanwhile, you're just
sitting
in
around
the hospital. So I was like, let's just do it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we were able to do it the first day.
The first day that they had mentioned, you had been, I think, waiting around for
a handful of days,
3 or 4 days before the surgery, but with expectations up to like a week or 2.
Yep. So then surgery day, just woke up in the morning, just like, damn, I'm getting brain surgery today. Wasn't that nervous, to be honest. I think being in paramedic school, you go do rotations in the operating room, and I did plenty of those. I'd done plenty of those, and that just kind of helped. I know what it looks like in there. I've seen the patients there. Very much fully sedated, and everyone in there knows what they're doing, and I really had no concerns.
Yeah.
Just, all right, we're going to go black out for a bit and then
take a little nap.
I had it easy, compared to my family who had to sit in the waiting room for, I think it was almost a 6-hour surgery.
I think it was 6-7 hours you were out.
So they just had to wait there and be nervous the whole time.
Yeah.
I just slept, but
worked out. And brain surgery, it's always like the butt of people's jokes. Like, what are you, brain surgeon, or this isn't brain surgery? Yeah. It's progressed quite a bit in the last few years with technology. So not that it's not a scary surgery, but it's definitely gotten better. And on top of that, once the swelling had gone down and like they could really see where the location was, you had an ideal like if you're gonna have a brain tumor, you had it in a pretty good spot. It was on the right side versus the left in the frontal cortex part, right?
Yeah, it's in the right front of my brain. And like Brennan was saying, it's not good to have, but if you're gonna have one, you'd want it there, because they were saying even if it was in the same spot, but on the left side, you were going to end up with some motor deficits and potentially some speech issues. Yeah. But their main concern was left side motor function. So when I did wake up, they were constantly checking my strength on my left side, how my left foot was moving, and it was all fine.
Yeah. And was it pretty surface, or like how deep was it? Because some people get brain tumors and they're very embedded inside the brain and in the folds and things like that. Was yours more surface and pushed away?
I think it was more towards the surface. Nice. We'll throw up another picture here of after the surgery, and it's like you can just see this cube that they cut out of my brain.
Extra space, dude.
Yeah, I'll fill it with whatever I want. Memes and whatever. But yeah, woke up. I guess I told the surgical team right when I woke up, good job, guys, I'm proud of you. And then just felt pain in the incision site. It was pretty painful.
Like a skin cut, or did you even have like a headache or anything? Headache?
No headache. It was just the incision. And it was amazing because I thought like, oh, I'm going to have to get my head shaved and all that. But I didn't. It was just from here to here.
Across, pretty much
like
where
you're like a rainbow.
Yeah, where your
pretty
headphone
much
band
where my
is.
headphones are at.
Yep.
And skinned me back like a deer and put a hole in my skull and got it out.
Extra stitch when they put it back, so give you a little facelift.
Yeah. Get rid of all my forehead wrinkles.
Yeah. But then they kept you in Colorado for a little bit. So after your surgery came back down, we hung out in Colorado. You were at kind of the VA care facility there just to make sure that everything went well, the incision didn't get infected or reopen or anything like that.
Yeah. The amazing part about brain surgery is I think I was walking around the hospital within 4 to 6 hours after the surgery, and then was discharged from the hospital in 48 hours or less than 48 hours. So then I had to stay there because the pathology results were going to take,
I think, a week. They said it was going to be a hot minute.
2 weeks.
Or, yeah, week,
it
2 weeks.
Might have been 2 weeks. It felt like a long time.
It did.
Because you just don't know what it is.
Right.
So,
or even how much they got out, right? Because even after your surgery, there's swelling. You had to wait for a while to go back in for another scan.
Yeah.
You know, so not only to see what is it, but did they get it all out? Kind of two things.
Yeah, they estimated they got about 90% of it out. They can never fully get this type of tumor out because they have little like tentacles that spread, and he got to a point where he's like, I got most of the easy getting, but I don't want to be like, poking around more and causing damage. So
yeah. And so we hung out in Denver for a little bit. Then we got your results back. And what did they say? Or what was the lab diagnosis?
Yes, I have what is called a grade 3 astrocytoma. It's a type of brain cancer, obviously. But brain tumors are called gliomas. They go from 1 to 4. 1 and 2 are pretty manageable.
Like early stages is what they'll call them, non-mutated.
Yeah, and then I have a grade 3, and then grade 4, like we were talking about earlier, is a glioblastoma, which no one thought it was that. So that was like good for the weeks of waiting. Like no one on the scans thought it was a glioblastoma because those carry like a 2-year,
very low.
I think the 5-year survivability is like 5% or something like that. So I was optimistic about that. I was like, well, at least I don't have that. Mm-hmm. But like, you have a grade 3 astrocytoma. Okay. What does that mean? They said it'll never truly go away. And then current science shows like 7 to 10 years that you get before it gets you.
Yep. And every cancer, for most people nowadays know, because it's very prevalent, each cancer has kind of windows and survival rates and remission rates and things like that. They're not clear cut and dry. Like they're normally like, 45% of people, this, that, or the other. So
yeah,
there's always some leeway in there. But yeah, it was, on one hand, it was the things the doctors had been kind of telling us or relaying to us was, it didn't look like a glioblastoma. And so you kind of initially deep down inside, you're like, okay, hopefully it's just a 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
And so 3 is kind of that weird middle ground where you're like, fuck. Not the greatest, but it could have been worse,
Right. I'm still very optimistic. When they told me that 7 to 10 year thing, that kind of just rolled off my back like water off a duck's back. Mm-hmm. I was like, whatever, you're wrong. It's gonna go away. I'm gonna make it go away. And obviously then been on a ton of YouTube rabbit holes about cancer, and I've seen plenty of people, I have had this it's been 20 years since I've had it or whatever. So plus in the advancements in technologies, hopefully something comes around that can beat it.
Yeah, CRISPR's gene editing and stuff like that's kind of cool. And you've always been a healthy individual. Like, you watch what you eat. You're not big on sugars or carbs, which glucose is what cancer cells love.
Yeah.
So you kind of already had a head start, and I think you had some good resources of people to research and find out. And it was never, as soon as you found out, it was never well, I'm going to do my own treatment or whatever. You're right on board with, yeah, sure, we'll do the radiation and chemo, but I'm also going to, like you said, kind of take it in your own hands.
Yeah. Can do my own things. I think that will work.
What were some of the things you found or wanted to do?
Well, like you said, cancer loves glucose. So there's a billion people on the internet talking about keto diet for cancer. So I've been eating that way, measuring my keto levels, intermittent fasting every day.
You nailed that. You hopped on that train real fast.
Yeah.
Not as bad as you thought.
No, Brandon's always been a intermittent faster like that. And I remember I used to think like, fuck that, I couldn't do that. I'm always so hungry in the morning. But it's amazing how your body converts when you do it. Like, maybe it's a little painful the first 1 or 2 days, then after that, it's like even just having coffee and
a little caffeine helps. Nicotine always does.
Yeah.
And there'll always be uncomfortable days with intermittent fasting. But what's great about that for people that don't know is it starves out. It helps your body filter out the dead cells or cancerous cells and get it pushed out.
Yeah.
When you're eating 3 times a day, your body doesn't go in and kind of do that in-house cleaning. And so doing the intermittent fasting daily, occasionally having those longer, maybe 2, 3. Some people do week-long, month-long water fasts. You just don't need to eat 3 times a day. It's a big lie that they taught us.
I think the longest I've gone is like 40 hours now. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of on accident. It was like, well, I wasn't that. Usually I'd eat around 3 p.m. or something like that. But that day I wasn't that hungry. Then I just got to, it was like 6 or 7. I'm like, I'm not that hungry. If I can wait 1 more hour, I can just go to bed. Mm-hmm. Then you add 10 more hours or 10 more hours while you're sleeping.
Easiest time to fast.
Yeah. And then I woke up and still wasn't that hungry. And then I think I could have kept going, but I had a lunch meeting with the bankers that day. So I ate at around the 40-hour mark.
Nice.
But they say I'm going to do some more 3-day fasts, some more 3 to 5, see how I'm feeling.
Yeah, we talked about, I think we're going to try maybe once a month a 3-day fast, and then once a quarter work up to a 7-day, a week-long fast, things like that.
Yeah.
Most people think diet when anything health, whether it's cancer or not. Most of the time, you can improve a lot in your well-being just by switching up your diet, whatever it is, whatever works for you. I don't believe that there's a clear cut and dry solution for everyone. You have to kind of play around with it. But
yeah.
So besides the diet, you said you went on YouTube University, and there's plenty of anecdotal evidence out there of, like you said, people who have had stage 3 astrocytoma brain, the exact same thing. What were some of the other things you found?
Yeah, even people with the grade 4 had it worse, and here's what they were doing. But none of this, of course, is advice from my oncologist.
Or medical advice to anyone listening if they have it or develop it.
I was trying to bait my doctors a little bit to see how they answered certain questions. I was like, what about diet on this? Is there anything special I need to do? He's like, no, I don't usually tell my people to change their diet or anything, unless they're really bad and diabetic and stuff. I'm like, really, dude? There's no... Then, of course, he said the shit well, just don't eat a bunch of red meat. I'm like... This fucking dude's probably still going off the food pyramid.
Yeah. 6 servings of grain a day.
Yeah. Don't forget your fucking loaf of bread per day.
Yeah. And all your processed foods.
Yeah. You didn't even say that. You didn't even say you need to eliminate processed foods.
Which you do.
Come on.
Yeah.
So that kind of told me a lot, but I just...
It's good to probe.
Well, I'm going to continue doing my own things. I'm taking medications that are off-label for cancer. We can talk about it. Might get controversial to some people. If it's controversial to you...
You're not. If it's controversial to you, you're not the one taking it, so relax.
And you've probably said my body, my choice at some point. So
to some nth degree.
Fuck you. I'm taking whatever I want. I'm taking ivermectin, menbendazole, hydroxychloroquine, through an oncologist that I found online that has treated over 7,000 cancer patients this way. He publishes on Substack, like, amazing results. Like,
give him shout outs for other people.
Yeah, Dr. William Makis. If you have the cancer, check him out. Yeah. William Makis, Makis. He's hard to get a hold of because he's got one of the most popular medical Substacks in the world. Over 100,000 subscribers to his Substack. And so he's very busy. You don't get to like meet with him. But also, if you have cancer, I recommend looking into him. But be careful because there are scammers out there impersonating Dr. Makis who, one, need to be shot because that's fucked up.
Yeah. They're preying on cancer
stealing
patients.
Money from cancer patients. And I was initially communicating with one of them.
Oh, really?
And they send you all this intake form, like, about your health history and all this.
Do they just try and like
kind of legit? Yeah, they impersonate him they have websites and everything with pictures of him and
little rats.
Fucking rats.
Damn. And so everyone's probably pretty familiar with Nobel Prize winning ivermectin.
Yeah.
But what were the other two?
Menbendazole.
So what is that?
It's a dewormer.
Okay.
For right now for dogs, but it has a very safe profile in humans. Lots of good research. Again, you're not the one taking it, so don't fucking worry about what I take.
Exactly.
But yeah, Dr. Makis publishing on Substack is like had people stage 4 in hospice and like turns them around. It's wild. So another reason this isn't psychologically affecting me that much because I really believe all this other stuff that I'm doing is gonna beat it. So
yeah. And the third one, hydrochloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine.
And then just a bunch of other supplements and stuff. But yeah, watch out for the scammers if you are going to look for Dr. William Makis. If you or someone you know have cancer and you want the appropriate email address to get a hold of Dr. Makis, reach out to me and I will get it to you. Yeah. So, because of course their emails look like his email.
Oh, yeah.
And I filled out the health form and all that to the one guy. And then when it came to payment, it was like PayPal or Bitcoin or something.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Big red flag.
But then finally got with them and he made me a custom protocol.
Good.
And
what about side other things? I'm kind of leading the question. I'm a big fan of methylene blue. And its ability kind of for your cells and mitochondria and even brain function.
Yeah.
So you've been doing some methylene blue and red light therapy.
Yeah.
Those are super good ones, I think, for anyone.
Meditating, cold plunging.
Yeah.
I'm fucking doing all of it.
Good.
But so then got home from Denver. And then started radiation therapy.
I mean, you got to do some fun stuff before. Like,
yeah,
you were told, hey, you're going to be doing radiation, and that's every day for 6 to 8 weeks, and you got to be there. So you got to go on a decent little hunting trip first and do a couple things.
Yeah, I went and filled my antelope tag, and then I went to Saskatchewan for a week and did a bunch of snow goose hunting with my dog. So that was cool. felt great the whole time. That's what's been one of the most wild things about this is like I don't feel like I have cancer. Like people feel bad for you, but I'm like, dude, I fucking feel fine.
Feel otherwise yourself. Do you kind of have that feeling like I'm standing on the edge of the cliff, like I should feel something? You know,
I just want to feel something.
I just want to feel something. But I mean, you know, and cancer affects everyone differently and different mentalities. But you know, to not feel anything different, to have brain surgery, to be going through some of these treatments, I think it's kind of cool. You know, it goes to show like your mental fortitude and your outlook on this. Yeah,
I think attitude has a huge thing to do with it. Some people probably when they got told some of this would have like just shut down and like, you know, that's no good for your immune system. And I think it's never really bothered me this whole time. So just know I'm going to beat it.
Nope. But yeah, so you went and did your hunting trips. You came back. You kind of had the first step in the treatment was radiation, right?
Yeah.
And so they had to. What was the mask fitting process like? I've seen those before, those mesh things, but
we can throw a pic up of me in the mask. I'll get it over to the producers. It's just a mesh mask that it's kind of hot when they put it on, but so it forms to your face because when you're doing radiation, especially on your brain, they don't want you even moving around a little bit on the table. So you're on a flat table and then this mask is essentially like bolted to the table so you can't move. And it does like, you can sit up with it on. So like if you fell, you didn't like break your neck because your head stays on the table, but your body falls off. But yeah, that was easy. They just formed it. And then I trimmed my beard before that. Not too much, because it was getting pretty grotesque, but...
At least they let you keep it.
Yeah.
You know?
So I trimmed it back, got mask fitted. Probably need to go trim it again, because this morning at radiation, I noticed it's getting a little tight in the chin area. But radiation's super simple. Monday to Friday. Every day. It really takes 15 minutes. You're on the table, you go into the machine, they do a quick CT scan, pull you out, aim all the lasers, whatever. I don't know what they're doing back there other than playing shitty music for me to listen to. But then they slide you in, and then the actual radiation treatment itself for me is 234 seconds. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
Super quick.
So,
and how's that been? I obviously haven't been through radiation. Most people haven't.
It's been good. They've been saying like, yeah, you might not really experience many side effects except for fatigue and hair loss. Thank you for pretending not to notice, guys. But I am beginning to lose a little bit of hair up front here.
Just where they've been targeting. Like that's where the actual radiation is coming in.
So they're beaming me here.
Yeah.
So they said expect to lose some hair there. It'll grow back. Don't worry.
Most people lose their hair for a lot less, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. And whatever on that. It'll grow back, might grow back a different color.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I hope it comes back some fun color.
Yeah, gingers have a tendency to go kind of that silver gray.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Silver streak in there.
That'd be cool. I'd be jealous.
Silver fox.
Where's my cancer? I want a silver streak. Just go in. I'm Tyler. I'm going to get some radiation today.
But other than that, dude, it's been easy. No, everyone's always asking like, how you feeling? Like, fine, man. Not even tired. There's been some days when I wake up kind of tired, but also my protocol from Dr. Makis has like a heroic dose of melatonin in it every day. So maybe I'm just waking up because I had like, I don't know, 15x the normal dose of melatonin every night. So,
and it's just like a sleepiness fatigue. It's not like a all over body fatigue, don't want to move type thing.
No, it's fine. every now and then I catch myself like just exiting the chat,
zoning
for
out
a minute, but yeah, zoning out or word recall, like fuck, what's that word again? But
just makes you look smarter. I think people who talk slower.
I was doing a lot of that shit before.
Yeah.
In some ways I feel sharper, I think, maybe because of all the supplements I'm taking.
Yeah.
So like for neuro health.
Yeah. And just so you know, from my perspective, like we've spent quite a bit of time together the last 5-6 years. I don't notice much of a difference. Obviously, a little bit of the hair loss, but as far as your personality, you mentioned you take pauses. You did that before.
Yeah.
But now when it happens and everyone's just got you under a microscope and you're like, is this it? Are you okay? Are you going down? Like walking around with pillows, but you've kind of always been that way. And maybe that's me seeing it progress over time. And most people don't get that, but not much changes.
So 33 radiation treatments.
When are you done?
December 18th. Woo-hoo. It is December 5th. So this morning I just did my whatever. I have 9 left. So
nice.
Then after that, I start chemotherapy, which is a pill for my form of cancer. It doesn't go through the blood-brain barrier, the IV chemo. And that's like the stuff that people, when they think of chemo, getting so sick is IV. They told me with this, like, again, limited side effects. You'll like fatigue might be the only thing. So,
and that brings up another interesting thing we learned about brain cancers is if the cancer starts in your brain, it will not spread to the rest of your body.
Yeah.
Whereas individuals who get cancer in other parts of their body, in the lymphatic system or wherever, that can spread to your brain.
That was interesting. Did not know that. Yeah, the oncologist told me, it's not leaving your brain. So that's good.
And how long is chemo going to be? And that starts right after radiation and then just a medication every day?
Every day. Sorry, not every day. It's 5 days a month for 12 months. So this shit is for at least the next year, through the next fire season. I'll have chemo pills in my pocket.
On top of all the other medications. Because you're still taking, what's the anti-seizure med?
Keppra.
Keppra, yeah.
Still taking that.
Yep.
Don't tell my doc, but I cut the dose in half. I think I'm fine. Not a big believer in taking a bunch of medicine. But yeah, they want me on an anti-seizure for potentially the rest of my life. And then also definitely we'll be getting MRIs like every 3 months just to take a peek in there. Like
you said, it doesn't always go away. And so if the radiation and chemo goes well and it stays where it's at and doesn't get any bigger, doesn't go anywhere else in your brain, I think there are a lot of people that test, once they get through that whole treatment, they're like, okay, do I still need Keppra? And they cut it back and see like that. And you might have to, and other people don't, but
I can't drive for 6 months from the incident.
Let's be real. That's the fucking worst of the whole thing.
It's the worst. It's the worst part.
You lose your freedom.
But yeah, state law where I live is 6 months. So it's happened in September. So I'm immobile on my own free will until March.
Yep.
So
not too bad.
Not too bad. But I've got a good driver.
You do, yeah, a few. And Rapid City's not that big.
Right.
But yeah, man, you've been killing it. You're probably the closest person I've had in my life that's, been affected by cancer. Obviously, I've had extended relatives or other acquaintances. But watching you go through this and how you've handled it and go through treatment's pretty cool. Like, it sucks, obviously.
Yeah.
And I feel for you, but the way you've handled it, and you're still, we're still working on Minuteman and the Journeyman every day and doing cool things and planning stuff. Like, it's awesome, man.
doing what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you or anybody you know does have cancer, I could really get on a soapbox right now, but look into alternative things. Like Dr. A at the big hospital is telling me you're never going to be rid of this. And one doctor even said 3 to 5 years.
Yep.
You're going to be dead in 3 to 5 years. The other said 7 to 10. Then we got people like Dr. Makis over here. Like, obviously, can't guarantee he's going to, but like, he's at least coming at me with optimism. So I get it. It's controversial, especially COVID made ivermectin controversial for some reason. People are afraid to not listen to the pharmaceutical companies, but
no, I'll repeat it again. Nobel Prize winning medication.
Yeah.
If you need to do your own research, start there. And
it's on the World Health Organization's list of essential medicines.
Yeah.
Has it been prescribed 4 billion times to humans? So
and you couldn't take enough of it to actually hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's
when you call it a fucking horse paste, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And think of like amoxicillin's used in dogs. So is amoxicillin a fucking, what are you going to take, a dog antibiotic?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I think I will. There's so many medicines that are used in veterinary world, and
who would have thought an animal and an animal, you know? Like,
so, and just, it's money, man. Everyone fucking knows pharmaceutical companies are the most corrupt motherfuckers in the world.
Yep.
So, and the reason they're so against ivermectin and fenbendazole and menbendazole for cancer is because they're off patent, so they cannot make $1 bajillion.
Yeah, they can't corner the market and say this is our special marking, ivermectin pill. It's dirt cheap, available in a lot of places.
But
yeah, main thing, I think, whatever you take, if you do have this happen to you or someone you care about, it happens. They don't say get a second opinion for no reason. Yeah. And don't go from one big doctor to another big doctor. Go talk to a cancer specialist that, may not have his own big hospital, or get anecdotal evidence from other people who have your type and see what they've done.
Yeah, if they're shutting you down, that's a red flag. At least I did tell my doctors I'm taking ivermectin, and they didn't say much, but it's fine. In other places that are more psychotic, like Canada, Dr. Makis is from Canada, and he's had patients where their oncologist threatened to drop them from their treatment for taking it.
Wow.
So fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, and we repeat, not medical advice. Don't do these certain things in lieu of getting radiation and chemo. Like, much like the brain surgery, they've come a long way.
Yeah, you can do both.
Yes, you can.
Some people, that was a big thing in my mind for a while. I was like, should I say fuck all this traditional treatment and then just do this stuff? Because my ego wanted to beat it with the way the doctor said not to.
Yeah.
So I could say fuck you guys. But
and you still might have that option, right? There's always the possibility that after the radiation and chemo, you go back in for scans and maybe a little bit came back. And normally what happens is they present you with round 2. Hey, we're going to do another round of radiation and another round of chemo.
Yeah.
At that point, you might make a decision like, I'm going to try this protocol for a little bit.
Yeah. I think I'll stay on people stay on the ivermectin and fenben after their cancer's gone away to keep it away too.
Which, I'd rather take those than have to go through treatment again and or Keppra, It's like a multivitamin.
Yeah, do your own thinking. Just because he has a white jacket on does not mean... I think the people with the white jackets on are very well-meaning, like your doctor, your oncologist at the hospital means well.
Yeah.
but there's so much shit going on, so many levels above him that are rooted in greed and corruption and
profit.
Yeah. So that guy in the white jacket, you're cool. Everyone above you, fuck you.
Not so cool.
Yeah. Let's not forget that the pharmaceutical industry funds most of the studies in medicine too. So we should trust them.
Right.
They researched their own medication and they said it's fine.
Yeah.
And they get to make money off it. So
I would be interested to see how much those individual companies contribute to cancer research outside their own facilities as well. My guess is not very much, because if cancer ever does get figured out, they lose on a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah. One weird thing I heard is that of all cancer research, brain cancer gets the lowest amount of funding.
Interesting.
It gets 5% of cancer research dollars or something like that. Heard that from another girl on YouTube who has what I have. So, so they should look more into brain cancer. I don't know if that's because it can be so deadly that it's like fucking...
What are we wasting our time type thing? Yeah.
And
there's also so many types of cancer.
We're people too.
But yeah.
Fun fact about grade 3 astrocytomas is that 0.44 out of 100,000 people have them. So.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, did not know that.
So it takes 200,000 people. In a group of 200,000,
one will have it.
There will be one of me.
Damn.
So.
Well, hell yeah, man. We'll obviously have other episodes that I think will keep up with your treatment through chemo. And your next scans and things like that. We'll keep people posted. Like you said, if they have any direct questions about your treatment or protocols or, things you've watched or people you've contacted, reach out.
If you get the cancer and just want someone to talk to, reach out. Stay positive, man. Just tell yourself you're going to beat it.
Yep.
I refuse to believe otherwise, so
hell yeah.
Call me ignorant, but
it's the best way to be.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah. That about wraps it up for this one, for the little update.
Yeah.
Nice, man.